Good morning, second grade math students. How are you doing today? I hope you all had a great weekend. It's good to be here with you. And we are going to continue our learning in place value and numbers in base 10. And we are on lesson 9-7 in your workbook, page 401. So you'll need your workbook for this lesson. You'll need your hundreds grid. Hopefully you've already taped it to the front of your book. This is a new book. I just got this last week because I gave mine to somebody else in the class that needed it. Hopefully they're using it in the hundreds grid. And so I've written the the I can statement for you. And let's go ahead and read it, or listen to me read it to you. You can read along with me. I can skip count by fives, tens, and hundreds using a number line. Okay, we're on 9-7, page 401. Okay, in the last unit when we were doing our skip counting by fives and tens, it's always very helpful to do that because it'll always help you. So you can continue practice that. It's very good for money and time, but it's also good for practicing your numbers in base 10. Okay, and it asks you use the number line to skip count by 5 starting at 0. Write the 2 missing numbers. Describe any patterns you see. So you have the number line drawn for you, and they want you to describe your patterns. Okay, you can also use the number grid because the number grid is essentially a giant number line that has been cut apart at each 10 and put together. Okay, so take a minute to do that, and you can pause the video right now and write in your answer and what you think the patterns are that you see. Okay, welcome back, and we are going to count by 5 starting at 0, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So what are some of the patterns that you see? And you might be thinking that some of the patterns that you see are that the 5s and the 0s repeat. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So the 5s and the 0s repeat. It could be one pattern. Another pattern could be that the 1s digit, the 1's place value digit, is the only digit that changes. And you're counting by a 1-digit number, 5s. Okay, let's move on. We're going to move to page 402. And for 402, you can go ahead and use your whiteboard, and it's great because it has these lines on it, and you can use those lines as a number line. Ready? Right, let's see what it says at the Visual Learning Bridge. It says, the number line shows skip counting by 5s. Okay, and in this, it starts at 400 and not like we've started previously at 0. So we're starting at 400. So you can write 400, make a tick on the line, 405, 410, 415, count with me, 420, 425, 430. So it's very similar to what we just did on the other page, except it's a 3-digit number. We're in the 400s. Okay, we're still counting by 5s, and it's only the 1's place value digit that is changing. So we're counting by a 1-digit number, and the 1's place value digit is changing. Okay, so now we can go, and it says counting by hundreds, and that's a 3-digit number, and they start at 400. So let's count 400, 500, 600, 700, and I hope you're writing this, right? 800, 900, and here's your return sweep to the next place value, the next 4-digit number. You're going up hundreds, and you're going to have 10 hundreds. And so now 10 hundreds, remember, is your 1,000. Okay, and you write 1,000, 1, 0, 0, 0, 10 hundreds. Okay. All right, so the guided practice says skip count on the number line, and it starts at 5 cents 70, and it says write the missing numbers. So they're not telling you what to skip count by, right? Here you skip counted by a 1-digit number and the ones digit changed. Here you're skip counting by a 3-digit number and it's the hundreds place value that's changing. The hundreds place value is going up. Okay, and here they're not telling you, they just they want you to figure it out. So we have 570, and the next one is 580, and the next one's 590, and then we're going to count 10 more, and you need to do that return sweep. So you're going to the next hundreds, and the next hundreds is going to be 600. And it's tricky because it's changing in the third place value as well in the hundreds, but it's only going up by 10. So 590 plus 10 equals 600. You only went up 10. You just had to make a bundle, and that's why you're moving in the hundreds as well, because you're regrouping. Okay, and then after 600 is 610, and then 620, 630, and then it stops at 640. Okay, and it's the third. You're going up by 10, so the second place value, the tens place value, is the one that's changing. Okay, and this right here is the hardest part for second graders to understand. It just takes practice, and you just have to remember that it's an incidence of regrouping, kind of like when we used to regroup with the straws and bundle the tens, and then we got hundreds, and now we've got we bundled the tens into 100. It's the same thing as bundling the straws. It becomes the next 100, even though you only went up by 10. Okay, and the last one, they have left the beginning blank as well. And they want you to tell me what goes in there, and the next one is 100. So think about what's 10 before 100. And then they left the next one blank, and then they have, oh, it's not 10. Whoops, I didn't look ahead. It's not 10. Uh-oh, it's changing in the third place value. 600. So what is happening? So what's 100 minus 100? 0. The next one is going to be 200. The next one is going to be 300, and that's already there. And then we have 400, 500, 600, and then 700. And then after we have 800. Okay? So practice counting up by tens and by hundreds and by fives. 1-digit number, you go up 1 digit each time. A 2-digit number, you go up the second digit. So you always go up the tens digit, the tens place value column. And then when you're going up a 3-digit number, you're always going to be going up the third digit, the hundreds place value. Okay, right here. And you have to remember that when you get 10 tens, it's a regrouping. When you get 10 hundreds, it's also a regrouping. And when you get 10 ones, it's also a regrouping. Okay, you just have to remember that once it becomes the next digit up, you're shifting the place value. Okay, so 10 tens equals 100. 100 tens equals 1,000. Okay, and that's it. So go ahead and finish the rest of 9-7, and I'll see you tomorrow for 9-8. And let's read the I can statement one more time. Oops, part of it's erased. I can skip count by fives, tens, and 100s using a number line, and in this case, a number grid. Right? And or number grid. All right? Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.